Hi, this is Osman, a Master Level Energy Healer with telepathic capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. Be sure to visit my website for more information on my services, yogawellness786.com. Also understand my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have a medical condition, be sure to consult with a licensed and qualified medical professional in your locality. I wanted to discuss some of the advantages or one advantage of the Sirshasana or the headstand, right? Which, when we were taught the headstand, we were taught that it's the king of all the yoga postures, right? And they didn't really give me a convincing argument why it's considered the king of all postures. They said, no, now you're in a completely upside down position. Your entire circulation is normally working in one direction. You're reversing everything and you reconditioning your blood vessels that it starts to flow easier in the opposite direction and clearing the the blockages in your blood vessels, and then it creates increased supply of blood to your head because now your head is upside down, and it like revitalizes your brain with nourishment, and your brain is such an important organ that when you're nourishing it with a rich supply of oxygenated blood, it's going to enhance your intellectual capacity significantly. Of course, I mean, these arguments are very logical and scientifically no one's going to argue with that, and we can say touche, okay, we agree. But I understood another reason, right? So what I noticed, that as you're going into advanced levels of yoga and meditation, and when you're standing on your head, especially for longer periods of time, right? So normally it is very dangerous to practice the headstand for more than 2 minutes, because you can cause the rupture of one of the blood vessels and cause a stroke, especially if you're starting to practice yoga, in your adult life or later life, where you're not used to the headstand and you're doing it. So initially you must not go for long periods of time. Stay there for as long as it's comfortable, right? For a few seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and slowly develop it for up to 2 minutes, but don't exceed 2 minutes. And you need to be practicing it for a long time, for at least, I would say about 10 years or more, before you can start going into advanced levels or dangerous levels. If you want to go into the dangerous levels of standing long time in the headstand, this is a foolish thing for you to do, but it's up to you, right? So if you want to do it, it's up to you, but the risk is very high. So, but I'm practicing for close on to 50 years from childhood, and I'm used to doing the headstand, and I normally do it very safely near the a wall, so that the back of my heels is just touching the wall gently, to give me a sense of balance, so that I don't accidentally fall over, and you can have an accident where you can damage your neck. I know people, because I've been practicing for long, who did funny things, and they did damage, damage their neck. And when you damage your neck hard enough, it will kill you. You'll snap your neck and you'll die. Right? So always I like to, because I'm also teaching yoga, to teach best practices, and never ever perform a headstand that's not near the wall, so that if you're going to go back, you're going to go into the wall. And I always touch my heels, on the wall. So in the beginning, of course, your whole body may touch it, because your body doesn't have enough of the subtle life force energy. It feels very heavy, and for me, my body feels light as a feather, because I'm practicing for very long, and barely my heels are like very lightly touching the wall, right? So follow best practices. So I notice when I'm standing for a long time, and not very long. I mean, there are some people that can stand extremely long, on their head. one of my teachers stood on his head for 12 hours a day, and he meditated for the 12 hours, right, on the head. So when I noticed that he's standing so many hours and meditating on it, it must be linked to something positive in the meditation field. And when I started to experience the subtle energies and be able to observe the Ida and the Pingala nadis, the lights of it, right? So today, for example, I'm completely blind, of course, right? If most of you know that. And I can always, although I'm blind, I can see the energy lights, right? So today I can see it's grayish blue, which means it's the Ida Nadi day, right? So when I go on the headstand and standing from 10 minutes upwards, when I come to around 10 minutes, I notice that the right and the left nostril breathing becomes completely open and clear, and I no longer see the Ida or the Pingala, I see a blackish light. That means the Sushamna, the central energy is flowing, because that is blackish. They say very dark, deep red in color, blackish red. Right? So I experience it like a blackish color. So it means the Sushamna Nadi is now flowing. Sushamna Nadi means it is the most ideal energy where you in total tranquil, calm state of mind, and the Kundalini can now easily flow, and the energy easily flows from your base of your spine up to the head, and it encourages it. So, I mean, the purpose of meditation is to be able to reach this very tranquil state of meditation. So it enhances the delta state, and you don't really, when you're in the delta state, you can lose track of the passage of time, and that is how the teacher was able to sit, stand 12 hours on his head. He's probably not experiencing the passage of the 12-hour past, probably only experienced 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but 12 hours is passing, because he goes into the total peaceful state where you lose track of the passage of time, and so peace and calm, and go into the state of nirvana or bliss, or go into samadhi, or before samadhi or nirvana there is another state called nirmal sthiti, the no thought state, right? You're not in any bliss, not anything, but you are like lights out but awake, and when you open your eyes you don't know how time has passed. 10 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour or 10 hours, or 12 hours for that matter, just passed, right? And some people report 13 days passed, right? In some cases, of when you reach, the delta state of mind, and also the nirvana and the samadhi state are similar, right? So these three states, it encourages these states. So I said, wow, the headstand is called the king of all the postures, because it is enhancing you, physiologically, with the flow of the blood to your brain, and reversing the flow of the blood throughout your body. You're reconditioning the whole body, the blood supply, refreshing it by, reversing the flow, and then increasing the flow into your brain, means psychologically and intellectually, because your brain is said to be the center for your psychology and intellect, right? Your emotions and your intellect. So psychologically and spiritually, right? By encouraging the flow of the Sushamna Nadi and making it so much easier to attain Nirmal Sthiti, Samadhi, or Nirvana, right? So, or just to be in a very tranquil state of mind, right? Which is the purpose of meditation, right? So this is the amazement that I found in headstand, and I only found that out, I think, in the last 5 years or so, right? And I've been practicing close on to 50 years. So I hope this information helps you, and remember to always be careful, take best practices, advices, don't put yourself in danger, and take care of yourself always.